Okay, let's look at the back pocket. We've covered the front pocket, the basic steel idea of being able to go in, clip an item, raising it to your fingers, drawing the attention up and away as you steal the item out. But now let's look at the back pocket. There's something really interesting about this pocket to me. Now let's look at one of the techniques for stealing from the back pocket. If I can ask you to spin around. Now the thing about the back pocket, again, it's in this area where most people are quite sensitive and they know what's going on. A number of the techniques that you can use with lifting something out. First of all, for me to get my hand into his pocket is awkward, to say the least. You've also got the problem of buttons being done up, or even just the button itself being something to get in the way. So depending on the trouser and depending on what they have there will alter how this steel will work, or not work for that matter. But if you were to push up, sort of pinch the fabric and push up, and you can get the item to lift and stick out slightly, you can take hold of it and lift it out. Now obviously, for that to happen without him having any awareness of your hand there is pretty slim. You know, you can have his attention focused somewhere else, you can be sort of talking about other things, but he can still feel what is going on. So it makes it quite a hard steal to do. It's not impossible, I would call it impractical. Let me come around this side. So if I was stealing from this pocket, I would be using my hand, the closest hand to him. I would probably go in this way to reduce the amount of touch to his body and clip the phone or the wallet from the outside edges. Again, what I want is I want a larger move or motion to cover the smaller one. So in this case, I might be moving him in this direction, getting to move, take a side step across, which might cover that sensation. There's a lot of other information going on. I'm asking him a question, I'm giving him instruction. If the object was sticking out of his pocket at all, I could simply lightly take hold of the outside edge and ask him to take one step forward, take a step forward for me. And as he does, he walks himself out of the object. And again, that's quite a nice thing to do. Thank you. Have a turn round. But I think there's a better, more rational, logical and sensible way of dealing with the back pocket. And it might come across as a cheat, but psychologically it's exactly the opposite. Most, if not all of us, have at one point in our adult lives been told not to keep valuables in our back pocket when we're out and about. You know, we've seen things on the news, we may have seen programs about it, we might just have friends, family tell us and warn us not to keep your wallet or your phone in your back pocket because it's a very vulnerable pocket for the street thief to steal from. And technically speaking, all of the above is accurate. The street thief is more likely to go for something that is visual and obvious, i.e. You get a lot of people with these tight jeans on these days who have the phone sticking out of the pocket like so. It's very obvious. And it's easy for the thief just to come along, maybe give them, a little bit of a hip bump as they remove the item from the pocket. Now, with this in mind, my technique is if I meet somebody and they have a wallet or something in their back pocket, and I will ask them, do you have a phone on you?
Yep.
You do. Where do you keep it? It's in your back pocket. Now, at this point, I probably knew it was there anyway because I'd have looked, I'd have seen, I'd have checked in some way as I'm moving and positioning and just checking his pockets for valuables. If I know it's in his back pocket or he has simply volunteered the information, I will look sort of, shocked, surprised and shocked, and oh, you don't keep it there, do you? Everybody knows the back pocket is the easiest pocket for a pickpocket to steal from. And the truth is, everybody does know that. It is something that pretty much anybody in the world who's an adult knows that this is a dangerous pocket to keep things in. Which now totally justifiably allows me to say to you, take it out of your back pocket and stick it in your front pocket where it's a lot safer. No, it isn't. It's not safer at all. In fact, arguably it's easier, but this is more practical for me because I already have, some great techniques from stealing from that pocket. All right? but it allows you to come across and seem better than you are, if that makes sense. I mean, that's not really what I meant to say, but I personally I don't like the back pocket because I don't want to be fiddling around down here. It kind of, it's the same reason why I wouldn't pickpocket a female, and I wouldn't be putting my hands inside her, inside her coat, because of obviously, being seen to be touching areas of personal, that are too personal. The trouser pocket down here is fine. Even the belt, bizarrely, is fine because it's significantly higher up. But as soon as you start to put your hand around the back here, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's a territory that just seems a little bit inappropriate. As I said, there are methods, there are ways that you can steal from them, and they're all the same. You're going to just put your hand in, grab it, and take it out, or you're going to lift the item up. There are some subtleties. If you have a standard folding wallet, you can have the wallet taken out, you can examine it and look at it, but when you put it back in, you put it back with the fold open. So if you imagine that this is the fold of the wallet, normally it goes into the pocket like this, but when I put it back, I put it hanging out, which now means I've got a lot of wallet to take hold of, and I ask them to take a step forward and it comes out easily. But personally, I would rather be remembered for doing the impossible and saying to the person, this is an unsafe pocket, as you well know, move it anywhere else on your person to a safer place inside your jacket pocket maybe. Now later on, when I reveal that I stole it, it seems more impressive, not less impressive. So that would be my suggestion about how to steal from a back pocket. Simply get them to move it to a different one.